Looking at the PPS system from 3M, which includes this hose, and of course the most important part, the gun, and the turbine unit. You're going to really like this. It does a great job. Now this is a pressurized cup, and I'm going to show you how this works. I'm going to put just a little bit of water into this insert. This is what we're talking about when we say PPS. I put the lid on the cup, and then I'm going to put the collar on. Okay, we're going to turn this and make it tight, and then we're going to hook it up, of course, to the main part of the gun. Now the gun has a special adapter that fits right on the top there, and you push it down and twist it and it locks it in place, and then I put the hose right to the gun itself, and it's going to turn it into a pressurized cup now. Okay, now I hook the hose from the turbine unit right to the gun, and you're going to see now I'm going to pull the trigger just slightly, and you're going to see all the air. Watch that cup down there. It's going to collapse completely. It's just taking all the air out, and we have just our water in there. And I can spray upside down, I can spray upright, I can spray any angle whatsoever with this system. That's what's one of the really neat parts about this. Okay, now let's look how we take it apart. Of course, now when we go to take it apart, we always pull the trigger so the paint will go back down into the cup, and that way we won't have paint all over the place. So I do is take the hose off, pull this off, take the collar off, and I'm going to explain this more in detail when I actually switch to the paint part. So let's just move on to putting some paint and actually painting and demonstrating that for you. Much more interesting, okay? Alright, so I'm going to put some paint into my cup, and we're going to put it back together again just like we did before. I'm going to put the lid and the collar on there and tighten it up, and I'm going to hook it to the gun again. Push the adapter down and twist it slightly and put the hose, and we are ready to spray. So let's look at this. This is really going to be neat. I think you're going to like this. Okay, so I have my paint in my gun. And remember, just like before, I'm going to just partially pull the trigger, and the air goes out, and some of the color you're going to see starts to come out there. See, I'm ready to paint. Now, let's demonstrate, and when you get your unit, I'd like you to do it this way. Turn both of these top two screws completely to the right. The top one is controls your fan. The second one is your needle adjustment screw. So if you turn them completely to the right, nothing can come out right away. Alright, that's the way to start. Now, I'm just going to turn them to the left just a little bit, and I want to show you the control with this unit. I'm actually holding it within 2 inches of the surface all the time, no matter what kind of pattern I'm spraying. And as you can see, I can actually write my name with this thing. Look at the control. Alright, and now I'm going to open up both of these again. The fan, the bottom one, you can have it open most time, all the time, pretty far, because I control my pattern a lot of times, not the pattern, actually how much paint comes out with my pulling out of the trigger. And look at this, look at the control right there. See, very, very little overspray. Fantastic. Okay, so let's look at how we take it apart, and we're going to clean it and put it back together again. So first we're going to take our paint out, and we can either save it by putting the cap right back on the cup there and saving it, or we can just get rid of the insert, and the only part we have to clean now is this part of the gun. Isn't that neat? Now I usually like to just put a towel in there and clean any excess off. I've already sprayed water through here, by the way, too, because I was using waterborne paint. If it's a solvent, I'm going to spray my solvent through. Okay, I take the front part of the gun off, and I'm going to pull my trigger back a little bit and take the nozzle off. And these are finger tight the way I have my gun set up, so it's really easy to work with. Now I'm going to take out the needle adjustment screw, take it all the way out, and then I'm going to pull the trigger back a little bit and just hold on to the end there, and then twist the paint tip itself off. Now this is just a little black piece here. That's the paint tip. And that the only thing you really replace from, well, very rarely, but you can replace it. Okay, took the needle out, and I took the spring off. Okay, now I take my gun cleaner can. This is fantastic, made by Sam. Terrific product, really saves us a lot of time. So I spray right into that paint nozzle. I'm going to pick it up there, wipe it off, and it's ready for the next job. Clean, there's no paint residue in there whatsoever. Okay, then I'm going to do the same thing to the other parts of the gun. I have the paint tip there, I wipe it off, and now I'm going to go with the needle. And by the way, if you're spraying waterborne like I do, I just rinse some water or shoot some water through the gun before I start with my paint the next time. Okay, and then you can also do the air cap here if it needs it. We don't really need it here because we didn't really dirty it up at all. Okay, now The other part to clean, of course, is this main part through the tube, and you can shoot the gun cleaner right down through there and from the front, both ends, of course, getting it all through there, getting any residue out, and you can wipe it off like I'm doing there just to clean it all up completely. So it's really ready for the next job. Any color I want to put in there, I'm going to be ready to spray. So that is really, really neat. Okay, now let's look at how easy it is to put back together again. All right, I start by putting my needle in, and then I'm going to hold the end of the needle with my left hand there, and then with my right, I'm putting the paint tip back on. Again, remember I said I just make them finger tight there. Okay, so it's pretty tight. And then I'm going to put the spring back in and put the needle adjustment screw back in. Like I said before, you don't have to turn it too far in because I control my adjustment screw actually with the trigger right there when I'm painting. You get the feel for this, all right? The fan is the one you really turn the most of the time to adjust. Okay, I pull the trigger back again, and I put my paint nozzle on and put the air cap and the ring back on, and I'm ready to go. So this is the super turbine system, the gun, the hose, the turbine unit, and the can, and you're ready to go.